story time on how I got put in handcuffs. So, and this was the only I only got put in handcuffs one time in my life. I only been I'm gonna just get into the story because I have never been like in trouble to where the cops needs to be involved or any of that. Literally. So this day just like caught me by surprise. I was scared, I was nervous, all of that. So, I'm like, at this time, I was homeless, like sleeping in my car some days, and then, making enough money to get a motel and stuff. So I was doing that. And this day, I had just got back to the motel that I go to regularly. So I go, I like, that night, I go and pay for my motel room. And I noticed that there's always cops there, right? The same exact cop. So I come out like that next day, that morning, I come out to put all my stuff into my car to get ready to go do Instacart. And I'm like, okay, what else do I need? I get out of my car to go back into my room, and I see I'm back in, by the way. My car is back in, right? So I'm like, okay, let me go back to the room. I noticed that the cop pull up, and as I'm like walking back to my room, they like, hey. I'm like, what's up? They not saying a single word. They just turn me around and put me in handcuffs. And I'm like, excuse me, why are y'all putting me in handcuffs? And they're like, we're just, I guess, running an investigation. I'm like, investigation for what? What are you guys putting me in handcuffs for? Then one of the cops walk around my car. I'm like, I'm looking like, what the fuck? What are y'all doing? Why are y'all doing this? So the other cops walk back up, and they're like, so it looks like your tags are expired. So I go and say, so y'all literally just put me in handcuffs because my tags are expired, the tags that you cannot see unless you get out of your car and walk around? What was the real reason for this? And they're like, well, you're free to go, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all really just sat here and put me in handcuffs for no reason. Literally, y'all was trying to find a reason. To put me in handcuffs. Y'all see me here every single day. Or every other day y'all see me here. And y'all just want to fuck with me. And that's the feeling that I got. Like, y'all just want to fuck with me. And after that encounter, like, I want to say like 2 weeks or a week and a half after that, I never went back to that motel. I went to a whole new city and just got a motel in a different city, because me knowing that these cops is going to be here every single time I'm here, I'm like, yeah, nah, that's not finna fly with me. Because if they try to put me in handcuffs for no apparent reason again, it's going to be a problem. And in my head, I'm like, I could sue y'all, I could do all that, but I'm like, you know what? I dead ass already going through enough shit. I don't need to pile shit on my plate, So I'm like, you know what? I'm finna just go out, make some money, and do what I do. Boom, 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 boom. So after they took me out of handcuffs and stuff, I asked for the report that they made. They didn't give me a ticket. They didn't do none of that. So I'm like, what the fuck? That's strange. So I just asked for the report that they clearly just made. And then boom, they went about their day, I went about my day. And after that though, in that same city, like when I was doing Instacart, I used to go to that city to do Instacart too. I always got stopped I got stopped again by a cop, but literally everybody was giving me a pass because they seen that I was sleeping in my car. Like, my car looked like I was sleeping in my car, literally. So they was just like, we're just gonna give you a pass, just make sure you get that updated. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying. So I got stopped at least 3 times out there, and after that, I was like, yeah, this city is not it. I stopped going out there. And after that, I didn't have no problems with no other officer. I never got stopped, even though they see my tags. Never got stopped. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, hey, maybe it was just something, the the motel I was at. Maybe there's always something going on at that motel. I don't know. They probably just, I'm not gonna say racial profiled me, but in a way, when I was there in that instant, it did feel like I was being racial profiled. Like they was finna find. They patted me down too. I forgot to add that. They patted me down to check me and everything, and I'm just like, I ain't got shit on me. I am homeless. I ain't got shit. I don't got shit. I am a homeless woman sleeping in my car and sometimes sleeping in a motel. Like, literally. And I swear to y'all, I was so shaken up. Like, I was so, like, I was literally shaking, like, what the fuck is going on? Because they caught me all, like, they caught me by surprise. Like, what the fuck was that? So, to this day, I really don't fuck with officers now, because now, not saying like every officer is like that, but I just don't like trust police no more. Especially the police out here though. That's another story time. I gotta give y'all a story time. This is only 6 minutes though, so I guess I can give y'all a story time. So there was one time, okay, before I was homeless at this time too, literally. So this is when I got kicked out. Not kicked out, when those people tried to kill me. I don't know if y'all been here for a long time. If y'all go back, some people was trying to, the abandonment house that I was living at had 2 other people that was living there too, and they hated the fact that I was, standing myself and making a way for myself in an abandonment house that wasn't really a home. Like, I was really making a way. I was stacking my bread trying to get up out of there. I didn't want to include myself in nobody's life, because people always try to come into your life and take, but they never like trying to be genuine enough to like, be there for you too. So I noticed that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just stay to myself, keep to myself, boom, do what I gotta do for myself. So they tried to take my puppies that I had, and basically all the stuff that was in my room too. And I say that they did try to do that because that's what it felt like when it finally came down to them pulling a gun out on me and pulling a knife out on me, because the things that they were saying. So after that, I had my an old friend had let me stay at her place, and I had took the puppies over there too, because they was gonna be taken to a shelter that following day, and that's what happened. But while I was there, I know, like, she tried to hook me up with somebody that was gonna get me into a program where I would have housing, right? But when I called this person, when I got on the phone with this person was telling me I wouldn't have my freedom, basically. I wouldn't have freedom to go out by myself. I wouldn't have freedom to go to my doctor's appointments by myself, go out to the park by myself. And in my head, I'm like, this just sounds like sex trafficking. What the fuck is this? And like every second, his phone would hang up. He would call back, hang up. Like 10 seconds would go by of him talking, trying to explain what the program was, and it would hang up. 10 more, he would call back. It would go on for a minute this time, hang up, and he would just call back. And I'm like, okay, the shit you saying sounds strange, and your phone hanging up every minute is strange. Then he goes on to say, yeah, I'm just in a bad neighborhood, boom, boom, boom. Ain't no phone gonna cut off that many times in that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, I don't think I can trust this person, and I don't think I can trust her enough to even go here. Because when I asked her, like, yeah, so his phone was hanging up, he didn't, he was telling me I wouldn't have my freedom. She was like, well, I don't know about the program. I don't know about So you tell me, oh, this guy that I know could help you get into a program if you call him. So you tell me that, but you don't know nothing about the program. So I was like, okay, that's sus. So like a couple days went by. Remind y'all, I was only there for like a week, y'all. And as I'm going to the park, I'm taking my dogs to the park. My dog to the park, Reese's. I'm taking her to the park, and I go early in the morning too. And then tell me why I start noticing somebody, like, people following me and shit. I'm like, okay, this is strange. Let me just go back to the place. Boom. Go back to the place, and I tell her, hey, I think I'm being followed. Boom. Then that's when she goes off to say, oh, this is my safe place. This is... It just seemed strange right then and there too. It did. So I was like, okay, let me not really think nothing about it. Okay? So the next day I take Reese's to the park again, but at a different time. And I literally realized that there's two men following me. One was literally right next to me at a bus stop, and then there's a guy across the street, like, taking pictures of where I'm standing. And I peeped that and was like, okay, fuck that. And I was just like, he's across the street right here, I'm across the street right here, there's this bus stop right here. And I'm like, okay, I see you taking pictures. And then there's a cop car right here by him, across the street from the bus stop that I'm about to go sit at. I'm like, okay, strange. Let me go sit at this bus stop and see if these people are going to walk away and go a different direction. Let's see what this cop car is just doing, sitting there, not doing nothing, right? So I'm like, okay. I sit there for like 5 minutes, nothing happens. The guy just keeps turning around staring at me. The guy at the bus stop across the street the other way keeps staring at me. So I'm like, okay, yeah, nah. I'ma just stay here until they all leave, right? So me thinking that the guy that was across the street by the cop car was going to leave when he got in his car. No. He got in his car and he just sat there. Didn't turn his car on. Didn't do none of that. So I'm like, okay. At this point in time, I'm looking at the cop. The cop's just not doing nothing. Just looking down. I'm like, okay. This just seems strange. So, I get up, right? I get up from the bus stop and I start walking towards the light. Because I'm just trying to see what they all doing. The guy in the car turned his car on. The cop turned his car on. And the guy that was at the bus stop got up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going that way. We not going to the park, Reese's. So instead of going to the park, I walk straight and I go to the train station. And before I even cross the street to walk towards the train station, the cop car pulls and he turns right towards where that car was sitting. And I'm like, okay, bad. You left, right? So before I walk to the train station, I just stand there and I notice that the car is just sitting there. The guy walks, is still standing up. He's still looking around. Okay. So I walk all the way down to the other bus stop, right? And tell me why I see the cop car pass me by. And he just staring at me. I'm like, oh, you strange. And then, right after the cop car passed me by, I see the car pass me by as well, staring at me. I'm like, yeah, I knew something was fishy. So I never went that way. I waited for like a whole hour just to go back to her place because I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure if I could trust anybody. So then, let me see. A couple days after that, she comes back and gives me like this letter saying that, basically stating that she's letting me stay there until September 1st, paying no money, basically. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you let me stay here for almost 2 weeks now. before bringing me this paper? Why didn't you bring me this paper beforehand? So in my head, I'm like, okay, it could be because, you know, she feel like she can't trust me here or something like that. But then I'm like, she could have sat down and talked to me before she went behind my back talking to other people about the situation. Because if she really felt some way, she could have sat there and said, yeah, I feel some way, some type of way of you being here, boom, boom, boom. That's when I just left and I started sleeping in a storage unit. In a week of me sleeping in a storage unit, I got this place. So I was like, yeah. But moral of the story, cops, in that instant, I really couldn't trust the cops because it just seemed fishy on what he did. And that guy seemed fishy of what he did too. Because if he was waiting until a place got open, why did he pull off the moment I'll start walking a different direction? Like, you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I can't trust cops out here. And there's a lot of trafficking going on out here. Like, there was just a trafficking ring caught out here, like, a couple months ago. So, I really watch my back. I be noticing, like, people, like, always staring and looking at me. And I don't take it as a negative way, but I just pay attention to it because I'm like, okay, you staring at me for a long time. And I see you often. So I'm gonna make sure I watch my back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting trafficked. You know what I'm trying to say. I ain't going nowhere. The fuck. And I take Reese's with me every single day. Every single day. It should be on guard every single day. So that's the end of this story time, though. I gave y'all 2 story times because I needed to, like, bump up some minutes, give y'all enough little minutes to watch this video. You know what I'm saying. But, yeah, that's really going to be the end of this video. And stay tuned for more story times because I got a lot. I can even go back to where high school days, man. For real. I'm going to give y'all a lot of story time. So just stay tuned. It's KG Way. And it's always gonna be yo.